and stuff.
You go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to That's How We Roll, where we're interviewing Damien, otherwise known as Reginald, in the game that we all play and love, with our DM and host, Hope LaVelle. I'm your temporary host. We've Uno reverse carded because the host, usually in question, is actually the hot seat. So, we're going with that. But yes, lovely to see you all in the chat, and we have questions stacked just like a lovely plate of pancakes for the lovely Damien here. So we're going to go ahead with the first question, funnily enough, from Who'd have thunk, Fallen Angel.
The super fan.
And again, thank you for being such a gem and sending in so many cool questions. But first, Damien, how did you get into tabletop RPGs?
Well, first off, thank you, sir, for stepping in to at the last minute to interview me. So how did I get into tabletops? So I'm not sure if I told this story before, but I played with some friends in my early 20s. Just a bit of D&D 3rd edition, 3.5 perhaps? Yeah, 3.5 I think. Played for 6 months to a year maybe. I really loved it. I didn't keep continuing because I don't think we didn't have a very reliable DM. He wasn't the best DM in hindsight. So my kind of path veered off towards video games and board games, which I'm still a big fan of. And then it was in 2018 maybe a bit later even, I watched Deborah Ann Wall's Relics and Rarities on YouTube, which is a very good show. Don't know if you've seen it. That was a TTRPG from her amazing mind. And that just turned on the little light switch in my brain. It's like, ooh, I really love this. I haven't played this for 20 years. So kind of slowly putting my foot back in.
Slowly?
Yeah, slowly. And then, last year I just said, well, so you see, this is my midlife crisis. Most people, buy a Corvette or something. My midlife crisis was starting a TTRPG channel, and I said, "All right, I'm going to give this a go," and got back into it with some Australian people. We ran some one shots, and then met people in the community, and here we are today. So you can argue in the chat which is a better midlife crisis: buying a Corvette or starting a TTRPG channel.
I mean, I know which one I would go with, and it definitely isn't the car.
Yeah.
But yes, no, it's a lovely interlude. I think the slow start. A lot of us have had that. I think people can agree in the chat. I think fire off if you've had an interesting, maybe slow and possibly subpar experience, and dropped it for a bit, and then jump back in to the warm community we have today. It was a time for a lot of us, I think. But
yes.
I think next question for you, my friend. Well, I mean, you've answered it a little bit, but to go into further, the further guff of it, what made you start this channel?
Why did I start this channel? Started it on a whim, really. I'd seen other channels, as I've said, and I thought, I can do this. I can get this off the ground. And it was very slow. This first 6 months was very slow. Just doing one-shots here and there. And then, got to know a few people, and it's grown a little bit there. Still a small channel, but it's grown a little bit. So I think just getting inspiration from watching other channels is the answer, I think. And they're just going, damn it, I'm 42 years old, let's do something interesting.
Oh, 42, meaning of life, and then I think you found it. So there you go.
Life, the universe, and everything.
I would say that life, the universe, and creating a channel for tabletop RPGs.
Yep.
That's I mean, it's as good a reason as any. I mean, a lot of channels from across the board just come. Excuse the pun. Come from all walks of life, and some of them are just like, I'm bored, I'm starting one. To I had a big life moment. The angels came down with a piece of paper and handed it to me on a scroll laden with angelic runic writing saying start a channel. But yeah, no, it's definitely everyone's there. We do have a question from the Goldberg. So the question is, what made you want to start a dedicated to tabletop RPG channel? Oh, and subsequently switch gears from one shots to getting the best DM to start your flagship. The best, literally.
She is literally literally the best. Yes, we all know this.
Yeah. We all
know this. I think it was just wanting to get out of one shots and knowing that probably to grow the channel, you do have to have some kind of campaign presence, I think, in this very competitive world, I guess, if you want to view it that way. But really, it's just fun for me. And I thought I do get more fun out of campaigns than one shots, I think. Not that we're going to stop doing one shots, but yeah, I do get more pleasure out of campaigns because you can get deeper into story. I was never I was a very shy child growing up. So it's also, I want to push my boundaries and get into character. And I'm learning as I go.
Aren't we all? 100%. It's you have jumped in the deep end, I will say, but it has been quite the successful splash, I think.
Thank you.
Well done. It's delightful playing with you. Delightful playing with everyone else.
Likewise.
It is very nice. However, let's get to another one of those juicy questions. Another one, of course, from our favorite fallen angel. What made you decide to run a one-shot charity games?
Oh, yes. Very passionate about charity, I think, is a short answer. Very passionate about queer charity, rainbow charity, however you want to define it. And I think specifically, because we did the Rainbow Railroad first, there is a movie called Welcome to Chechnya. And that charity was specifically mentioned in there. And that movie is a very intense movie about getting queer people out of Chechnya, which is one of the most repressive places on Earth for people on the rainbow spectrum. So I think that just combined those two things, wanting to do give money to Rainbow Railroad and my passion for charity. Yeah, even though at the time we're even smaller channel, it was like I kind of had to get a few people who were better known in the world so we could actually get a bit of money for the charity. So Hope was the angel she was and agreed to help out with that too.
So it's a wonderful community. Hope's a lovely person, and that's a brilliant cause. So a triple threat, I think. But yes, good, lovely. Let's have a look. See if there's any other questions in the chat. Not at the moment. So we're going to go to another one of Angels. How did you meet Hope and Johnny?
How did I meet Hope and who?
Johnny.
Johnny?
Johnny Johnson.
Oh. I had a brain fart there. Okay.
It's all right. We all do.
Johnny, his real name's Jan. He's from Germany, and he does some of the fantastic artwork you see here. I played some one-shots with him, and on a different thing altogether. It was private one-shots. And we just clicked. And yeah, I'm very much a person, if I find some clickage, I say, hey, let's do more. Let's hang out. Let's do this. So hopefully I'm not annoying when I do that, but that's what I do. And Hope was literally a Twitter message. Hi, Hope. I like what you do. Would you like to DM a one shot for charity? And Hope, being the amazing, empathetic person she is, said yes. So that's it.
I think, that's a classic example of overcoming the, I guess, imposter syndrome of if I message this person, am I being annoying, and just kind of biting the bullet.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, I feel like that all the time.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I think most of us have that kind of, especially with this community, that shouldn't really be a factor, because literally everyone, no matter how big or small you are, the communication's there, and it's all valid, and it's wonderful. So
beautiful.
You're only going to get positive results talking to someone, even if it is no, but I like the cut your jib, and I'd love to talk to you more about something else. Yeah, you don't know until you try. You don't know until you ask. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to throw my own question in.
Ooh. Okay.
How did you feel when you got slapped across the face by Kotatar with protection and good and evil and such?
I knew you'd ask that question. Of course. I think Reginald is having along with Silver, because Silver knows what's happened in our shared backstory, is having a bit of a crisis of, not faith, of crisis of confidence, perhaps, crisis of, basically he's in a depressive state, I think, following some backstory stuff. So he's feeling a bit sad, and he thought it was, after he did what he did, he was actually very regretful, because it was very impulsive, which is also very unlike him to be impulsive. So he was feeling regret, and he thought it was just punishment, basically, from Kotatar. As in, yeah, I deserve that. But then he was kind of slightly slightly surprised and thankful for the little spell he cast at the same time. So he was going to feel very bad and negative and self-doubt about himself, but that little kind of shining treat that Kotatar gave him made him go, oh, maybe he doesn't hate me, and he's just doing it for my own good. I'm being slapped for my own good.
Kotatar, what a softie. What a softie.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yes, he's got the heart of gold. But yes, that is it's a protection, good and evil. It's like it's like familial, like, don't ever do that again. Also, have a biscuit.
That's a very good analogy. Very good.
But yes, good. Let's see. We've got another question from the Goldberg.
Oh,
who do you enjoy seeing when we boot up the Zoom calls, and why is it obviously DeVal?
I can't pick. That's unfair to pick. I love everybody's beautiful face in different ways and beautiful personalities. Duval obviously has that bit of energy of just like, Duval. It's like a bit of a bit of endorphins going there. Yeah,
endorphins. Serotonin.
But for everyone, I get a huge warm glow in my heart when I see them.
Oh, brilliant. Well, there you have it, folks. We're all equal in the eyes of Damien.
Yes, we're all equal.
We're all equal, yes. All right, well, let's have a looky-lookles. Oh, it was a joke question. Well, you got a good answer from that joke
Yeah.
question. How did this miniseries come about? And that question is from Angel again.
Good question. I had, and I think from something Lee said yesterday, I think Lee may have had a bit of help in convincing Hope. I had asked Hope earlier if she would be interested in doing a campaign from my channel, and she said she didn't have the bandwidth, which is fair enough. Yep, no worries. And then that was after the first one shot Hope and I did together. After the second Hope one shot, I asked again. But I said this time, would you like to do like a mini campaign? Do you have the bandwidth for that? And I was kind of hoping I wasn't annoying her too much and bugging her. And to my utter surprise and delight, she said yes, which I was flabbergasted by. And then we kind of just had a bit of back and forth about it, and Hope just came up with this amazing idea. So it sounds like maybe others and maybe Lee convinced her as well, but I to go ahead with it. But yeah, that's basically how it happened, and I'm incredibly thankful. I get the sense that, I don't know, I don't want to speak for Hope, but maybe Hope wasn't confident to run more than a one shot. Maybe we can ask her this question when we interview her. But if that was the case, it was definitely misfounded because she is incredible as a DM. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there you go. The story uncovered. We are getting to the nitty-gritty of this mystery of the miniseries. But yes, thank you for your answer. And yes, no, I would 100% agree. If there is any doubt of skill that is inward, Hope, fantastic. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Not at the moment, so we shall go with another tried and true. And thank you again, Angel. Question. Did you make that amazing mask for Reginald?
Oh, good question. No, I have zero artistic talent. So I was actually just browsing on Etsy one day, and I said, "Ooh, I love that. I'm going to get that." And that was kind of the genesis of the character too. So I'm like, "Ooh, I'm going to get that."
Well, that's definitely I mean, it's genesis of a character like comes from an item. I've been there before. In point of fact, yeah, I'll throw more into that question and kind of meet it up a little bit with my own silly shenanigans. With Reginald and with the birth of Reginald, what was your thought process on choosing an aristocratic character? What was the pull there? What would you say was the pull toward that kind of archetype?
Sure. I kind of wanted to go something completely different from myself. And I thought, well, what's going to be a challenge here? What's going to push me out of my comfort zone? So someone with extreme kind of confidence, someone with extreme charisma, and trying to do justice to that, but also trying to not play an absolute asshole and actually give him a human heart. I knew it was going to be a challenge. So it really was this thing of me wanting to challenge myself. That's it.
Well, you're doing well, friend. You're doing well. I think on an extension from my perspective is that, we do use D&D to jump into and delve into characters or possibly facets of life that we just don't really see much of, and use it to explore it and have fun with it. So very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Another question. Again, the Fallen Angel. As a producer, what has been your favorite part about this miniseries?
As a producer, oh, that's a good question.
As a producer, because you are a producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the answer is probably from a technical perspective, just getting better at the whole technical experience. So using OBS, using Twitch, connecting the two. That's probably from a technical perspective. From a kind of broader perspective, probably collaboration, I think. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of emailing and tweeting at people. Would you like to do, would you like to do some artwork for this? Would you like to do blah, 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 blah. So can I, could I get some help doing an overlay? And Johnny Johnson / Yarn has helped me with that. So yeah, I think, collaboration is really good and learning more about the technology.
Hell yeah. Oh, the tech side of things is something you don't often think about too much until you start. You go, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
OBS. You've got all the other programs you've got to put, and then you've got to learn how to use Twitch or whatever streaming service, and then you've got to learn the etiquette of it. And
yep. Yeah. A lot of brain power.
If anyone does have any questions, feel free to. Yeah, a lot of brain power. If anyone has any questions that people want to ask, do not hesitate to ask in the chat. But whilst you all formulate and get the cogs turning, we'll go with another question from Fallen Angel. As a player, what are some of your memorable moments?
As Reginald, or just in general? Or
I think the question's very ambiguous, but let's focus on Reginald. I think.
Okay.
Focus on Reginald.
I think my favorite moment was jumping into the portal. Because at that stage I didn't know who he was, the character. I'd done heaps of backstory. We'd played, half a session, or was that in the second session that happened? No, that happened in the second session. We played, so we'd done one episode together. I didn't really know who he was. And I thought, I just had this kind of impulse. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in after David and try to save him. Because I think, even though he's an aristocrat, he does have a good heart deep down. And he's very fond of his companions. So even if it may not come across that way. I'd say that was probably my favourite moment. And, of course, being slapped by Coach Star.
Yes. A fan favourite moment there. And that keeps being brought up every time.
Yep,
so even to other people. Hey, random bypass. What did you think of this?
Just stopping people on the street. Hey, what did you think about this?
I don't know what D&D is, but I mean, when someone slaps someone else in a loving manner, it's like, oh, thanks for your input. Yeah. We've got a couple questions coming in, so we're going to go with Lee's question, Goldberg. Do you think Reginald is taking in the lessons being learned with our wild adventures / missteps?
Good question. Taking in the lessons. I'd say no. No, he's not. I don't think he's had time to process anything. And he's going very much an impulse, which, again, is very unlike him. And he may be a quivering wreck by the end of it. Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. A question from Duval would be, what does Reginald hope to gain from this experience on this adventure?
I can't remember if I've said this on stream. Probably not. So his motivation really together with Silver, was to kind of get out from his hometown of Sackville, because there was just so much darkness and depression there from what happened in the backstory, and I'm sure we'll get into that backstory later. Was specifically with Silver's backstory. It's kind of like they needed a fresh start. But also, Reginald, a big motivation for Reginald is to get better at fencing, to get better at sword fighting, because he's not good enough for his mother, and he's not good enough for the name Belagamba. He's been constantly told he's not good enough. So he's trying to get better.
Interesting. And on a very selfish note, San Leon just happens to be a fencer that uses 2 rapiers.
I'm sure that'll come into play at some stage.
Moving on. We do have a question, another question from Lee. Yes, indeed. Do you think Reginald feels the impact of what jumping in the portal did to Silver? And does he plan to rectify?
Yes, he does feel the impact. He felt very guilty straight afterwards, and he has apologized a few times to Silver. But I think that's a very good point, Lee. I think he does need to rectify more. I think he needs to rectify by maybe being more open, maybe being there for Silver more than he has been. He needs to make amends.
Well, that's short and concise, and there you have it. Rectify it shall happen at some point.
Well, we've only got 6 episodes, but maybe in the future, who knows?
That's fair. All right. Question from me. You didn't see that one coming. Haven't gone off the rails a few times already. With Reginald and with Silver, is there anything that the party knows from the 6 months that we were traveling together that you may have divulged over that time about, more specifically Reginald, but possibly your hometown or anything that they would know?
I think not much. I think he's still very walled in that sense. I think he's probably given off some details about how the hometown was. We had a jeweler, we had a blacksmith, very surface level details like that. But perhaps not even getting into the, not getting into the real meat of the politics and everything going on in this hometown, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question from me. How does Reginald feel about each individual of the party?
I've been waiting for this question.
Yeah, starting with Kotatar. Let's start with Kotatar.
Okay, Kotatar. He is afraid of Kotatar. The wall that Kotatar has and the demeanor is very scary to him, and he kind of gets a little bit of a sense of his mother off of Kotatar, which could make some interesting dynamics. That's kind of why when he was slapped, I actually just thought about this now, I think he felt like he deserved it, and having that little bit of love at the end was kind of surprising. So I think that's for Kotatar. Next up, Silver. He adores Silver. They've got a huge bond. The loss of Oberon was huge to Silver and huge to Reginald, because they were like a little trio who loved spending time together and grew up. And they're both dealing with trauma from that. Juicy trauma. San Leon, he has a bit of rivalry there. I think he's possibly a little jealous, maybe, that Sanleon seems to have it a little bit more together than Reginald, but that might not be the case, but that's how he feels. And perhaps there'll be some healthy competition there for kind of leading the group in quotation marks. Who knows? Lee / David. He is probably the closest to David aside from Silver. The closest person apart from Silver he's closest to is probably David. I think he might see a little bit of himself when he was younger in David. And, David's just got such a huge heart. How can you not love him? So that's essentially why he jumped into that portal, because I don't think he would have jumped into the portal for anyone except David and Silver on such an impulse anyway. And then just leaves Nira, I believe. Nira is a ball of chaos, and he has absolutely no idea what to make of Nira. And he is very confused. Yeah. So I think that's everyone. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Yeah.
That's no, I don't think you have. So that's a good ball of answers there. Very quick, concise, but informational at the same time. Good. Thank you. A question from the Goldberg, without giving too much away. Is there any NPC in your backstory, not with Silver, that you want to see and B, dread seeing? So A, want to see, and B, dread seeing.
Good question.
Could be the same NPC, could be different ones.
B, dread
but
seeing.
only if it's not too much.
B, dread seeing is his mother. He dread seeing his mother. A, wants to see. Of course, he wants to see Oberon, but Oberon has passed away. But this is a magical world. Who knows? Who knows?
Hope, true resurrection, reincarnation.
Hope could do something incredible. And maybe he had a close relationship with his cousin Harold, who was they were both always fencing together. So yeah, that's all I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Good question.
Other people in Reginald's life you've heard of now? Heard of the mother who misslaps a lot, possibly? Who knows? And with other questions, one coming in from Hope, our very own DM. What does Reginald look like under the mask?
I think he's just got that normal kind of handsome aristocratic look. He doesn't wear it to hide like a scar or burns or anything. I think it's more a status symbol to wear it. Kind of like masquerade ball type things, but he wants to wear it all the time. He just wants to look fancy and pretty as befits his station. That's what he wants to do.
Oh. Fair enough. So just as pretty, just mask his station, and maybe a bit more. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know. We don't. Another question from Hope. What are your thoughts on the Nightmare King, and what's the first thing Reginald would do if he met him?
That's very unfair, Hope. You're going to take what I say and you're just going to traumatize us even more, aren't you? I think at this stage he's very neutral about the Nightmare King. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know for certain that the Nightmare King has caused the tornadoes, has dragged us into this world. I mean, you could probably guess that he has, but I think he's wait and see. He's very much wait and see.
Yep. Fair enough. We'll go with another question from Angel. The Fallen Angel. Super fan. What made Reginald jump into the portal after David, especially knowing how Silver would react?
I think I touched on that before. It was pure impulse, which is very unlike him, and I think it's because he's dealing with his trauma. And perhaps when you're dealing with trauma, you do go more on impulse. But I think, as I said before, he's the only other person apart from Silver that he feels genuinely close to is David, and that's because David has such a warm heart and is so kind. Everyone else is kind of like, I don't know. But yeah, that would be why.
Fair enough. I just got a few more questions coming in. Have a look. Take a look. Okay, all right. So, another one from our fallen angel. What came first? Backstory or the class race combo?
Ooh, good question. I think actually the class definitely, maybe not the race. I kind of thought about that later. The class, because as I mentioned, I saw that little half mask thing that I got on Etsy, and it had the fake rubies in it. And I thought, ooh, rubies. Ooh, that sounds interesting. What can I play that's rubies? I kind of felt like playing a fighter. I thought, ooh, runes. Ooh, runes. That can somehow be related to rubies somehow. Got those questions in my head, and then it's like, oh, I think, yeah, let's go for Rune Knight. And then I kind of made the backstory out of that, and we had a session 0, I had a separate conversation with Danny and about Silver, and we thought, yeah, Danny can be a jeweler or a daughter of a jeweler, and we could bond over our love of rubies and jewels, and then she can also teach me about runes, because her family knew about runes, and then kind of Reginald took that to a whole another level to actually become a Rune Knight. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think
good question.
I think it does. And also segues to a really a question from Lee, which is, what Rune Knight abilities are you most excited to play with?
I'm most excited to play with the one. I don't know if you've read up on the Rune Knight, but they have a certain ability that can change what they look like. Let's just say that. And it's something he does not want other people to see, and he only use in desperation, because he's not a fan of it aesthetically, but he can do it in a desperate situation. I won't say what it is, just in case people don't know about Rune Knights and I don't want to spoil it. I'm hoping it comes into play.
A bit of mystery, a bit of intrigue.
Yes, mystery and intrigue.
Indeed. Okay. Another question from our resident fallen angel. What do you think about the potential entity called the Night King? Are they real? What do you think they are? Like, what do you... Does Reginald have any theories? Do you, the player, have any theories?
Good question. So, I think... When I hear it, I think of a horse, because of nightmares and Mare. I think something to do with that. So the Nightmare King, some kind of like Mouth of Sauron figure on a scary, scary mare. That's what I kind of think of. So that's my guess. In terms of its raison d'etre, I do not know. I think again, Reginald's very much playing it by ear, because we do not have enough information. And does it mean us harm? Does it mean others harm? Is it just an entity that's unaware that it is causing harm? So many questions. So many questions. A good question. Very good question.
Yeah,
Yes.
very good question. If you allow me a little theory of myself, is that player thinks it might be a child or a childlike entity.
Ooh, that could have some juicy drama. Oh yes.
Now, let's see. Do we have any other questions? Toothy more, yes, indeed. Yes, all right. Well, we should go with another one of the fallen angel. What does? Oh, well, we've actually asked that one. Never mind. Yes, okay. You allowed your DM, lovely as she might be, to talk to you into looking after the dream pirate boy when you went to jump off the crow's nest. Do you think the crew of the pirate ship is okay?
Do I think the crew of the pirate ship is okay? Ooh. Well, they are dreams. So my hope is that Duval, you're cracking me up. My hope is that they kind of went back to the person who was dreaming them, and they're okay. That's me as the person. As the character, I think he thinks they're gone. Yeah, they're dead. Whatever death means in this dream alternate reality. But yeah, he thinks they're gone, and he's very sad about it.
Wouldn't it be interesting if we get out of this mess and just one time we just go to have a long night's rest and we all end up on the pirate ship again. It turns out that they've imprinted on us somehow in our dreams.
Ooh, wow.
Very often when we have a long rest.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool. Great idea.
But yes, it's a very good question and equally very good answer. Thank you for both saying, your character and also you, both opinions. Let's see. We have sort of started to, the well has gone sort of dry for the questions. So if anyone has any questions, otherwise we can just, I might just throw some at you, honestly. So, theoretically, oh goodness, this is going to suck for a question for you.
Oh, okay.
If Oberon hadn't died, where do you think that Reginald would be right now?
I think he'd be back in Sackville. I think he'd be still there. And because I think it was a combination of that death and also wanting to go improve/prove himself as a better sword fighter for the family, that made him leave. So I think it's a combination. But yeah, I think he'd be back there. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What? So with all of this, so with Oberon, passing away, do you think was that the straw that broke the camel's back, or possibly the boulder that made Reginald leave?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. And I think he took that initiative and he said to Silver, please come with me, basically. And she acquiesced.
Yeah. Okay. So you two are on an adventure, and then you found and excuse my swearing, but you found us chuckle fucks.
Yes.
And now we're all going on a grand adventure into dreamland, but not before jumping onto a once floating island in the sky that was up there for possibly about 450 years ish.
Yeah.
Before that, having a little carnival jaunt. It was fun.
Yeah.
So play some games, have a drink, have a explosions.
Earthquakes.
What? Cataclysm. Oh. Like all good adventures start.
I was genuinely surprised when that happened. I was not expecting calamity to happen so quick.
Yeah, it was a level 6 calamity. Bold. But it is a short campaign, so I can imagine our short, possibly long demise is well ahead of us.
Yes.
But I would tell you, what was it? Oh yes, another question for you from Lee would be, what do you think got Reginald and Silver to join this party? What got them to just stay? What was the glue that got them to actually join and go?
Yeah, I think I'll stick around.
I think, at least for Reginald, I don't know about for Silver. Well, Silver would kind of go together, but I think that possibility of finding worthier adversaries so he could improve his fencing skills, and possibly, within the party as well, like San Leon. Maybe we will have some kind of interaction there somehow. But yeah, I think this group, just seeing this group and saying, yes, we can find worthier foes and I can get better if we've got, more people. And I think just over time, then he's starting to become fond of them. Starting to.
Nice. Okay. So multiple goals, multiple different facets, I would say. That's cool.
Did we ask that question? That'd be an interesting question to ask San Leon, actually. Did we? Like, why? I can't remember if we asked you that. Why did he stay?
What got me to stay?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't asked that question.
Oh, I will ask you now.
Are you asking that
now? I'll ask you now. Let's ask it now.
Oh, goodness. Oh, God, what's fine? Yes. Oh, goodness. Well, how dare you reverse Uno card me? Okay. Well, San Leon would have stayed because basically his inner mind, he hasn't really had friends for more than a month in his life. I mean, the only people that he's been friends with, and that's a very broad stretch, is his family. For story purposes, we won't go into that, but he's seeing a lot of the. Here's a little tidbit for you all. A lot of the joke things you think he's joking about, like, oh, my best friend, yes. It's actually true to him. He's not just joking. It's just that he doesn't know how to properly express it. It's like when someone goes, for instance, someone will be like, I love you, and then the other person who's not good at saying it, they'll be like, I love you. But
yeah.
He's just not good at expressing it. So yes, it's basically like he's like, people who accept me for who I am, at least for now, accept me for who I am. Interesting. I would like to stick around this because I'm feeling the feels that I haven't felt before, if they're deep down. So that's the short of it. And there's also this kind of sense of protection, and he wants to protect the party for reasons that are both surface level and also deep that I will not divulge. So I guess that's the answer to that question.
Anyway, I won't do that again. Just one question for you. There you
go. But yes, does anyone else have any other cheeky little questions? They couldn't even be silly ones if you wish. Yes. Is this a question? Come up with a discussion outside. Do you think All right, okay. What do you think of from Lee? What do you think of David's cooking?
That's a good point. How many skills do you have in cooking? I think he'd enjoy it. Well, let's say I think he'd enjoy it to a degree. I think he would still be like, "Oh, it's not quite like at home," you know. We got the 17 butlers and professional chefs and all that. But he would still be, well, this is quite good. It's quite good. I think so.
Possibly detecting the hint of that kind of like homemade, it'll do, but also made with a little dash of love, perhaps. At least that I'm cooking for my friends, ergo I want to make this pleasant.
And he's also
cooking. You got.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
I was just saying. Oh, and he's also he still has that aristocratic kind of air to him, so he's probably not going to say, "Oh, this is terrible." Although some aristocrats would, but I don't think he's quite like that. So I don't think he'd say. I don't think he'd say if he hated it. No.
No, yeah. He just sing or hum under his breath while eating it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I'm told humming keeps it down. Yes, no. But Lee did say straight up that he's actually a very good cook. David's a very, very good cook.
Roll a d20.
So I think that we're roll a d20, Lee.
Yeah. Add your cooking bonus.
But yes. Any other questions for the distinguished gentleman? Would the distinguished gentleman like a cup of tea?
I'd love a cup of tea.
Oh yes, very good. There you go. I handed that to you, by the way. That was certainly not there beforehand. What's your favourite tea?
Oh, my favourite tea. Let's see, my favourite tea.
Go on.
Favourite tea is a bit of a lemon and ginger tea, mate.
Oh, lovely. Love that.
Beautiful. Just goes down a tree.
Everything goes. Absolutely. You have something a bit carbsy. Breaks that right down. Lovely.
Oh, yeah. A bit of Vegemite sandwich with that, mate. It'll be all good.
Vegemite? Oh, bloody hell. You're drinking that. Be the yeast of your problems.
Oh.
Yeah, good stuff. You thought that having me in the host seat, I wouldn't pull one of those at least once. There you go.
Critical hit.
I got him. Now I'm just going to look at the chat, just waiting. Well, theoretically, when you're outside, you got your hose. It's got multiple settings. Yeah.
You got to ask it. Oh, no.
Yeah, bloody ask it. If you were to hose your garden, but you had a great many obstacles in your way, maybe it's your best friends in a garden, but you also have possibly your pet, maybe they've brought over their dog, or maybe it's a barbecue, but you've got a few settings. So first off, I'm going to ask you, what's your favourite setting on the hose? Now, this goes between drizzle, kind of like that sort of misty, stuff to kind of like this could be feasibly a shower head as the next setting. So that kind of next one is sort of a ring. You get kind of the ring. It's pressure, but it's not too much. And then just straight jet stream, which might melt someone's face possibly, and is a long-ranged weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say? What's your favorite?
This is a very important question. I think the gentle spray that kind of goes off in different directions, it's a gentle breeze kind of. It's probably going to take you longer to water things, but it's just nice, especially on a summer day. It blows back in your face. Oh, it's lovely.
The waft of mist.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Good breakdown there, and I think that's, fan favorite is the mist. I think.
Oh yes,
a lot of people.
Yes.
You can
Lee.
divulge a lot.
Lee's got a question.
Yes. I was about to get to it. No.
Oh, sorry.
Sweat there, my friend.
Wasn't sure if you missed it. Yep.
No. Thank you for putting it up. Yes. 2 eyes on the same thing means that we're definitely going to get to it. As Lee does have the question, has Reginald killed anyone before? On purpose.
On purpose. No. No, definitely not before adventuring with these. How did you put it? Clusterfucks.
Chucklefucks.
Chucklefucks. Sorry, my bad. Chucklefucks.
Yes, thank you.
I don't think we've gone over much because we've been together 6 months, so I don't think we've gone over like what foes have we fought. So I'm sure we've killed something in a combat setting, whatever that may be. But outside a combat setting, I think is what you're talking about. Like, has he killed anyone? No, he has not.
Okay. I'll add on to that actually. Is before you joined the party, did you kill anything?
Before, no. It was always very regimented, just duels and fancy noble duels.
Can't say Reginald without regiment. It's Reggie. I'm gonna break the meaning of the word after a while. Your name it was Reginald. Doesn't mean anything anymore. Said it too many times. Let's have a look. See if there's any more questions. I can see that everyone is just still processing. I think the pun possibly. Let's see. Any killing purpose? We got any more questions? Good golly. Do you think he's had the temerity to strike a killing blow, and how would he handle it? So I'm saying in combat.
Very good question. In combat. Oh, in combat. Okay.
Yep.
I'd say no. I'd say he's very much, loves dueling and fighting and like, I cut you, aha. And, a palpable hit, and all that. But giving the killing blow, I think he's a little bit of a wuss in that perspective because he's been very sheltered. I can imagine, Kotatar doing most of the killing hits, I think, from distance. With his bow, saying, enough of this silliness.
Still close enough to see the whites of the eyes, but not quite far enough to...
Yeah.
Kotatar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Good answer.
Good question.
As someone would say, soft boy.
Soft boy, yes. He's a bit of a soft boy.
Yes, indeed. Okay. I think next 5 minutes we'll start wrapping it up. But if anyone has any questions within those 5 minutes, do fire off. You have a time limit now, and therefore any of those subconscious questions will boil to the surface, and then inevitably make us talk for another half hour. As is the longest 5 minutes of our life. But a very nice 5 minutes nonetheless. But in the meantime, I will ask a question. So if Reginald was presented with a betrayal in the party, how would he react? Depending on the person. So you could go off. How do you think he would react from a betrayal from each individual character?
Okay, start with Nira. A betrayal from Nira, I don't think he'd bat much of an eyelid because he doesn't understand Nira at all. He does not know where her loyalties lie, what the hell she is. He's just completely confused. He wouldn't bat an eyelid. From David, it would be absolutely heartbreaking and it would be an absolute shock. He would freeze in shock, basically. San Leon, I think he would possibly slightly kind of expect it, and he would.
Oh, you wound me, sir.
I would probably slap you across the face with a glove and say, "Duel time." Time for a duel. And then Silver, that would just blow his world. I mean, he could not comprehend that at all. He would be a crying mess in a corner. Kotatar. Kotatar. He might be a bit angry, actually, if Kotatar betrayed the group. I don't know why, but I think he would.
Yeah.
Hard to quantify why, but yeah.
Maybe that slap sealed it. Like, there was actually a bit of caring in that. And also,
Yeah, I think
Kotatar has a really good head on his shoulders, it seems.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Okay.
Great question.
Thanks for that's good answer. Good answer. Depending on what is Reginald's favorite type of humor. So that could be sarcasm, puns, dry jokes, just things that are like, candid, so that you can actually like even look up in a joke book. Dark humor, just things like, well, we just survived that. Everyone alive, good, that kind of thing. Or possibly, more light-hearted. What do you think? What's his favorite humor style that he likes?
I think dry humor. I think it's quite a stereotype, but like for an ability to have that very dry sense of humor. Oh, good jest. Yes, good jest.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So I think, that's a good question. Very good question.
Thank you. I improved it myself. But yes, no. I think it's good. It's always good to just think about what humor you like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
If Reginald was presented with caviar and a dish based around that, a big beef steak, whatever, probably medium rare there, plus seared, maybe a bit of salad on the side, or a complete, wonderfully made salad, complete with cashews and various dressings, and sort of like complementary pieces, maybe even the odd little piece of fruit that makes it quite nice. What do you think he would go for out of those three? So again, that would be sort of a caviar-based piece, very rich but also very small, big, hearty, sort of beefy, big waft of smell, or possibly the more subtle but equally filling salad that is also very expertly made. What would he go for?
If there was anyone noble around, and he could, or aristocratic, and he could possibly include San Leon in that, he would go for the caviar to keep up appearances, but deep down he would want the salad.
Yeah, and it's a good salad too. It's a good one. You'd have it. It has none of that spinach / lettuce aftertaste that just kind of makes you more hungry. It's actually a filling one.
Ooh,
it's good.
Right. I'm hungry.
I'm doing it just so you eat afterwards.
I will.
Totally a question, and maybe I did ask that a question because I'm also hungry. God, I could go for a sandwich. But yes, let's see what everyone's saying here. What a fun question. When someone inevitably betrays us, how would you feel? He might be a bit angry as a reaction to the betrayal. It's most super nice person response. Yes, a little miffed.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'd be miffed for sure. David's favourite humour, farts, and he's ashamed of it. Good to know.
As he should be.
Thank you. Yes. Would just aim. Coach Sal would just aim and shoot. Yeah. It's just someone farts. Like, you've reversed breathed your last. That breath came out the wrong end. Yes. Indeed. Yes. So maybe fart humor might be up your speed as well, based on that relation. Yes. Does anyone else have any more questions for Damien / Reginald, Marquis, Bellagamba? Any more? Or shall we start? I'll give you. Question.
Oh, question.
Keep up appearances. Here we go. Goals for this shiny new affiliated channel.
Goals.
Yeah, it's just like even vague ones. Just like, I hope in the future, yada yada, or possibly ones that you have in motion. That you share.
Goals is to basically keep going, possibly maybe with you find people on an ongoing stream would be a goal, and doing more charity events, having more super special guests on. If we can grow it enough, we can hopefully get some super special guests. And yeah, that's the goal. Maybe make some money so we can pay to have some guests come. Subscribe, people, subscribe.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the goal. But at the end of the day, this is all fun. I'm growing it for fun. It's not for money. I've got a day job, so it is all for fun.
Absolutely. It's all for fun, and as long as it's fun, it's generated and genuine, and comes across to the viewers, I think that come what may, if it's destined to grow, it will.
Yes.
And whatever goals you have probably will come to fruition at some point.
Thank you.
I think. Yes. I should. That we shall. Oh yes.
I just wanted to add. Yes. I guess the main thing, and I should have mentioned this, is to make it a collaborative effort. Not just me. I would like everyone's input. I would like everyone to get on board. Yep, that's it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that, before we go, would you like to plug yourself?
The plug is keep watching this channel. That's the main plug. If you like
right.
If you like what we do, keep watching us. Share, like, subscribe, all that cliche. And that's basically it. Do you want to plug your stream? Your own stream should be starting today, a bit later.
My stream. Oh, sure. Yes. In roughly an hour or so, I do art streams, normally about D&D or Pathfinder or whatever, that I'm the manager of. It is not me, it's someone called Hayne, whoever that is, a tiefling.
Oh, yes.
Who paints things. I'm the manager. But you can go along to Hayne's Domain, all one word. You might see that in an hour or so, maybe after some lunch, where I'll just be... he'll be painting commissions or various other pieces, whether it be gods or knights or possibly charlatans, who knows. Yes, if you want to come along.
Yes, this tiefling is very talented.
Yes, specifically the tiefling. Very
talented.
Reason I'm the manager. I saw great potential. But yes, no. Do feel free to come along. And again, everyone, thank you for just stopping by, asking some banger questions about Reginald, about the group, player, and just be sure to just come along. I mean, what's today? I think it's tomorrow.
Episode tomorrow.
The game will ensue.
Episode
tomorrow, 4. We'll be playing episode 4. Good Lord. And you will see just a bunch of people sleeping. Nothing else. Just a lovely rest.
Yes.
Really, really chilled.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nothing weird.
And the day and
Real relaxed, I think. Just a really, yeah.
And the day after, I'll be talking to Hope on our one-on-ones, by the way. At a bit later time,
Absolutely.
but yes. Yeah.
And I think a great time for the interview just after, the day after the game. So
Oh, yes.
sure in for that as well. Yeah.
Yep.
All righty. Well, see you all later.
Thank you. And thank you, Daniel.
Oh, my pleasure.
All right. See you, everyone.